Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. What's a boring hobby that's not boring at all? Making holes in wood and stuff. Just making holes. With a drill. Is this a simplified I work in construction? No. This is boring. I do counted cross stitch. I'm not creative at all, but give me a coded pattern that creates a map. I always do maps, but you can make way more intricate things than you think if you invest the time, and I'm all over that shit. It's how I quit smoking. It keeps my brain engaged. I know someone who doesn't stitch thinks it is easy, but some patterns are a challenge and I enjoy that. I did a large, detailed cross stitch that included what felt like every shade of green in existence. It really challenged my sanity. I don't know if it counts as a hobby, but I love just going for walks. I live in a small city, and I walk the same route often, with various extensions. On my days off, I spend the whole day by myself, walking around the whole town and watching, listening to music, and thinking. When I spend time with friends, I take them on walks with me. I walk in the woods, in the streets, I get lost, I walk to get to where I want to go, I'm always fucking walking. I love it. It relaxes me and makes me feel purposeful at the same time. I seriously recommend it to everyone. Just take a freak G walk today. Watch the sunset. Watch the people around you. Look at the trees, look at the sky, look at the light moving across the buildings, listen to your footsteps or your breathing or a song or a story. It's so good for you. There's a guy in a nearby city that is famous for walking. He's the walking guy that people have been seeing everywhere for years and years. Might I recommend an idea for your walks? Tracking where you've walked and mapping it all out, and making it a point to walk every street/trail/path in your small city. It could add a cool dimension to your walks. Oh. We have Walking Man as well. He is actually a really interesting person to talk to when I'm out in the yard. All the Karens in town started posting on Nextdoor app about how suspicious he was just walking all the time. Geez. Birding. People love hiking and going outdoors, but as soon as you add in birds, suddenly it's seen as boring. Birds are so diverse and you'll never know everything there is to know. Birding is real life Pokemon. Gotta list them all. I started casual birding last year cause I hike and photography, so it gives me something to shoot for. I feel like as soon as I started pointing out the local birds that aren't crows and starlings, my Facebook friends started to enjoy birding pictures of the colorful seldom seen birds. I got at least one other person looking at birds now. Falling down rabbit holes on Wikipedia. May I interest you in Wikipedia speedruig? Search that on YouTube. That's a new one. I had a friend, once, that was able to bring any topic back to penguins. Especially when drunk. Gardening. You'd be surprised. Nothing beats cooking with herbs you grew yourself. Built a greenhouse for my mom a year ago. Self-grown tomatoes, oregano and chilies make a really damn good pizza sauce. Woodworking with hand tools. I'm addicted and have bought 5 hand planes and can't stop. I'm really into woodworking and I really love to use the few hand tools that I have, but I feel like I always end up having to use power tools for everything, so I was wondering, what do you make that you can do with only, or mostly, hand tools? From what I've seen, you can make just about anything if you have the time. I'm personally on a journey to make a bunch of furniture for my house. Along the way I'm making a bunch of small boxes as skill builders. Knitting, actually. If you can do it right, it's actually fun. Note that you'll probably rage quit if you get it wrong. I rage quit 3 times before it finally clicked. I was like, I will not be defeated by string and sticks. Children can do this. Now it's one of my favorite hobbies and I've made some beautiful pieces. Geocaching. Started this when my then GF and I were dirt poor in college, and now we have logged about 1,700 caches in about a dozen different countries. Even just doing it near our home is awesome, because you get to see things you'd never see otherwise. Highly recommend. Edit. My inbox has been destroyed by people looking for more information on this, which is awesome. To get started, go to www.geocaching.com. Doing it on vacation or when you are in a new place is even better. When geocaching was first described to me, I thought it sounded like the dumbest thing ever. Someone hides something, then posts the GPS coordinates to find it. You use a GPS to go to the exact spot and find the cache. Easy, right? Lame, right? Go do it. You'll likely have fun. If you have kids, call it treasure hunting. Bring stuff to trade. Bring a pen. Is there a website or app for this? How do you know it's safe to do, ESP, if you plan to bring kids? I remember once in /r/trees someone was like, hey guys, let's geocache with pot stuff. We can post directions and stuff. And everyone was like, are you out of your fucking mind? So you want to leave illegal substances in public and post where they are? In a public forum that is likely frequented by law enforcement. I didn't know what r/trees was at first, so I was confused as to why someone was posting about weed in a tree subreddit. Editing videos. A lot of my friends say it looks boring, but it's actually soothing and calming after a stressful day. What is your method? Like, do you have your editing process mapped out? No, I actually enjoy editing videos for my family, and sometimes for my YouTube channel, usually video games, haha. Quilting and cross-stitch. A nice mug of coffee, a good audio book, and I'm all set to spend the day making pretty stuff to look at. Crochet and cross-stitch for me. The audiobook and coffee are necessary for the complete benefit. Playing chess. Bullet. Equal parts flow and rage. 1 minute hits that sweet spot of being too fast to play decent chess, but slow enough to play a complete game of chess. So the result is game after game of bad chess, and it's addicting for some reason. Growing algae. I sometimes grab some empty glass containers, ones that I cleaned and wanted to reuse. Fill it with water, rainwater is the best, put in a bit of soil or any organic matter. I have a good collection of algae jars and a big bucket. They don't need much maintenance and look cool too. It feels good when you see how you just recycled and produced oxygen for free. I mean, I'm at least not a waste of oxygen. Edit. I did not expect that many upvotes and replies. Thank you all. I've been answering stuff for 5 hours now. How do I start this? Find a place with good sunlight and temperature around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. I put them on the rooftop away from shade. The containers I used were just regular Askreddit jars. I just washed them a little bit. I filled them with tap water. Rainwater is better -- cause it doesn't contain chlorine -- I'm sure you'll find why in the replies. Put a handful of soil and maybe some pebbles for the algae to grow on. You can seed the jar with some algae that already grew somewhere else. I got mine from a pot that I was using to cook and feed my cat's chicken heads that was filled with rainwater after I lost them. That's weird, I know. Or you can use pebbles covered with moss. Now closing the lid will prevent the water from evaporating too quickly, but it may suffocate the algae. While keeping it open will do the opposite. You'll have to look that up to make sure. I noticed that after some time the algae will start getting brown. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure people at r/planted tank will help. Bucket plus dirt plus water. Jigsaw puzzles. And also bird watching. Sometimes you see aerial combat taking place with these birds, especially crows against hawks. I go in and out of the mood for puzzles. But they are an amazing fix for the times where I just need to do something but I have nothing really to do. Like, I don't have physical energy, but my head is going to explode if I don't do something. I've started working on a puzzle with a hot cup of tea after the kids go to sleep instead of watching TV or playing on my phone. It does unwind me. Making detailed and realistic maps. I grew up poor, so to entertain myself I used to draw very realistic maps and play imaginary scenarios based on the map. Eventually my family got a computer and I started using Google SketchUp to make maps and flags. Now as an adult with a good paying job, I play EU4, HOI4 and CK2. But I still enjoy making maps whenever I have a pencil and a blank paper. Imagination has no limits. Edit. Well, I didn't expect to get these many upvotes about maps. Many are asking to upload some of them on Reddit or if I have portfolio. I don't have a portfolio, since I always viewed them as personal hobby and haven't thought about uploading them online. However, with the encouragement I have seen on here, I feel like I might start making maps more frequently and perhaps start sharing them on Reddit even with my limited time outside of work. Thank you to all the awards given. Never thought my most upvoted comment would be about my personal hobby of making maps. Any hobby that you genuinely enjoy will not be boring to you. It's boring to others, I'm sure, he opined. Unbearably dreary to those disinclined. A tiresome and tedious trailway to tread. A humorless hobby. I love it, he said. Research, or at least in my opinion. If you're looking for information on a topic you genuinely enjoy, it's actually quite fun to learn a lot about it from different sources. If nobody makes you do it, it counts as fun. Calvin and Hobbes.